Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. To help keep this podcast free, we're partnering with Stokes Seeds. Pre-plan your indoor seed starting program with the help of Stokes' 2017 Gardening Guide and their online articles. Whether you're adding texture through foliage, choosing a new variety for a splash of color, developing an existing garden, or starting from scratch, Stokes Seeds has some great catalog and online resources to help you through the process. Enjoy gardening tips and gardening trend forecasting from their garden writers and favorite chef. More than just a listing of vegetable and flower seeds, the Stokes Seeds website is a complete resource center with valuable information on seed starting, planting, harvesting, plus all the gardening accessories you need to make your garden the envy of the neighborhood. Get growing with Stokes. We'll have more to come from Stokes Seeds in the next few weeks. For now, today's gardening question.
Morning, guys. Thank you for taking my call.
Happy to do it.
I have a question about trimming Spirea.
Okay.
I generally do that mid-March, late March, but with some of the weather that we're having, if I have an opportunity to get out there, is it too early to trim that now?
No, in a simple word, Dan, it is not. Not in my opinion, because the plant has been dormant since, let's just say, late November, December. I would say to divide up the effort in the garden, go ahead and trim the plant now when you have time and other things aren't pressing so much. Now, for those, let's just say, that are listening with us, you can prune now, today. You can prune in a week or two. I would definitely have it done before late March, early April, because you want to trim it, in my opinion, every other year at least. You want to trim it pretty darn hard. I've been known to take it down to ankle high in any of several of varieties, because the plant flowers, as you are aware, Dan, on new growth. And anytime we can get in at this point of the year and do that pruning, we're going to be able to set the plant up for all brand new growth. And it should come on long and strong, so to speak. Now, I don't mean tall necessarily, but at the same time, there will be new growth coming, that low tissue. And the worst possible thing would be to wait until it starts to grow, has expended all that energy to get going, and then cut it down. So I said every other year. You could cut a Spirea down every year. I usually figure on dividing my labor up, much like you're thinking, get it done now, and then every other year is quite enough. But at the same time, it depends on your plants. And definitely, Dan, if you've got the pruners in your hand, wait until 9:01 and go on out there and trim them.
Yeah. Hey, if I wanted to apply some fertilizer, should I do that later in March, though, or now?
Dan, that's a hard one to answer. I don't see any reason you couldn't put it on now, but at the same time, you do have a whole month before it would be really critical. However, if you're using a slow-release material that is going to react only when the temperature is up and moisture in the ground and so on, you could put it down now. I don't see any reason why you'd have to do it, but I don't think while you're out there in that part of the yard doing the Spirea on the top, I don't see why you couldn't fertilize in general, because the temperatures, even though fluctuating like crazy here recently, they're going to stay basically cool, so I don't think you get any plant growth forced by that. I would maybe put on half of what your normal annual increment is now, the other half maybe in the middle of May when growth is taking place, so that it sustains it on into summer. So again, kind of an open answer, but I would not be in a hurry to fertilize quite yet, but I'd sure have it on hand, because we're only 2-3 weeks from the time that it's really good.
Okay, well, thanks. I think I'll divide that work up.
I think that's smart, Dan. Anytime we can divide our yard work up, it adds to the pleasure of the game.
Hey, thanks again for listening to the podcast. Remember, you can pre-plan your indoor seed starting program with the help of Stokes Gardening Guide and their online articles. For the best selection of vegetable, flower, and herb seeds available, go to stokeseeds.com. Cultivating successful growers for generations.
Circle270media.com